And now it's time for the ridiculous.
What kinds of things make people pissed?
And how many suitors exactly has she dismissed?
Siri, what are some locations for a lover's tryst?
Oh, darling, surely there must be a list.
A list?
A list?
A list?
A list?
You're telling me it's all here on this bleeding list? That's preposterous and ludicrous.
Well, actually, it's all quite
Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.
Welcome to The Ridiculous. I'm Sally Brooks.
And I'm Jen O'Neill, and we're back with another bunch of ridiculous lists for you.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
We take a week off and we come back. Where are you?
I'm still in New York. I'm still in New York.
How was your trip?
It was fun. We had a great time. We just, we went up, Jim and I went for our 1-year anniversary. I can't believe it's been a year.
You told me that and I was like, are you sure? Are you sure it's been a full year?
Still a complete stranger to me. I look at him every day and I'm like, who are you? No, we went just, it was fun. We just went with no plans and no expectations. We were just like, let's just go to New York and see where the wind takes us. And it was great. I love that kind of trip where it's just like, where there's not like an itinerary and you're not running from place to place. We just, woke up, got breakfast, went on walks. We saw some friends. We had a great time, ate some really good food.
Yeah.
I scoured the city for a ridiculous, cute, giant stuffed animal at my daughter's request. She knows there's all those there's like a store called Minoso and like these like cutesy little like Asian stores that have the big huge-eyed giant stuffies that, like of like a hamburger or like a shrimp, like weird stuff. And she made us FaceTime with her while we walked around finding the perfect gift for her, which ended up being this giant bunny with, if you zip it, it turns into a strawberry. And Jim had to carry around a giant strawberry bunny.
I was gonna say, is that and then you get to take that back on the plane, which is amazing.
And then he carried it through the airport. I had no like room in my luggage. So poor Jim, giant man with a strawberry bunny.
Oh, I love that Louise was just like already punking him. Like she's just like, what will be the funniest to make this big giant man have to walk with no children around? Like, mind you, like he wasn't like, it looked like he won it for you at a carnival. Like he was like, I'm going to get this for my girl.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Yeah.
Which would have been pretty cool. We went on a trip too. It was October break for our kids and we went to Hilton Head, and Ben and I both swore up and down that we had been to Hilton Head before, but what we were thinking of was Myrtle Beach. And so we kind of were like going into it thinking like, Myrtle Beach is a little trashy. So
fun trashy.
Yeah. Like we've been there before. We just thought like that's what we were thinking we were going to. And then we got to Hilton Head and I was like, oh, this is nice. Like this is like fancy.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. And people
really nice.
Ride their bikes everywhere.
It was lovely. It was so amazing. In October, we were like, got in the ocean, got in the pool, got in the ocean, rode our bikes to putt-putt, got in the pool. Like, I mean, that was all we did. It was so great. We had such a great time. I was like, this is a nice beach vacation. We should come back to Hilton Head.
Awesome. Don't let my sister-in-law hear you say that, because I made the mistake of, we took a family trip to Hilton Head a couple years ago. And then my sister-in-law was like, we should do this every year. And I was like, I'm kind of the mind that like life is short. I don't like to go to the same place over and over and over again. And you would think that I like murdered our mothers. And like she was just like, what? And And like every time I see her, she's like, well, because Jen doesn't like to go to the same places all the time. So like she brings it up constantly. And I'm like, oh my God. I said like, I made one comment.
Yeah.
But so
you were like, no, I meant I don't want this to be a standing vacation that we have to do every year.
Right. I don't want to see you every year. You get it? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I love my sister-in-law. But you should hook up with her and you guys rent a house every year in Hilton Head. I think that I like that for you.
I don't know that I want to go there every year either, but I'm just saying it's it's like 4 hours away. It was great. I was like, this is like a great beach trip. Yeah. It was great for a weekend. I loved it.
I'm glad you had a great time.
I did. All right. Well, now we're back and we got some lists. And I don't know about you, Jen, but it's almost Halloween and I got a spooky list.
I love that because I don't. And you're going first?
I'll go first.
Okay, great.
Okay, so this week, in honor of Halloween, this is similar to a list I think I did early in the podcast, but this is from BuzzFeed.com. It is people are sharing creepy stories of things that happened to them, and they'll send a chill up your spine. So,
okay.
Let me know when you get chills.
Okay.
I work at Walmart. One day we had to move a whole bunch of pallets of freight out of the way to set up for the truck. We lined a few pallets of TVs that were wrapped in plastic against the wall. I went about 10 feet away from them and started to pick some stuff up that had fallen off from another pallet off the floor. I looked up and one of my coworkers was looking at me with a stunned, scared face. I turned around and one of those pallets of TVs had fallen all the way down until it almost touched the floor and then set right back up the way we had left it, as if someone had leaned the TVs on their side and pulled them back up. No one was around. I turned back to my coworker and she said, "I'm glad you saw that too. We never spoke of it again."
Wow. I look at that as like, that was a friendly ghost, a helpful ghost, an angel, if you will. That's not spooky to me. That's like, wow, somebody would like help them out, you know?
Yeah. Well, you have a ghost story, right?
I have a million ghost stories.
Well, let's hear one.
Which one? What's your favorite?
Well, I remember you told me the one about, was it your grandma or somebody else's grandma?
That finds things?
Yes.
Yeah, my grandma, like, I swear on my life, my mom does, like,
Sorry.
Oh my God, it's a ghost!
Oh no, it was your grandma.
That was my grandma. She's like, believe my granddaughter.
I believe you.
I've got my mom doing it. My mom swears by it now, but I have this thing where if I can't find something, I'll say, Grandma, will you help me find whatever?
Yeah.
And I always find it. And sometimes it's the weirdest stuff. Like the first time that it happened was I had lost my wedding ring and my engagement ring. For some reason, I thought that I lost it at the punchline because I used to take my rings off to do this joke about not wearing my rings. It was just a bit. So I used to like just put them in my pocket, and then I lost them. And and then like after this show, I had like all these people were like looking for my rings, and it was like I never found them. And then like weeks went by, and I thought that they were gone for sure. Like I definitely just thought they were gone. But then I was like, Grandma, like, please just help me find these rings. Like, where are they? And then I then walked into my room, and then on the I have this like chest, I guess, that opens up. It's like this leather thing. It opens up and it has blankets and stuff in it. And sitting there plain as day, right in the middle, like I had looked at everywhere a million times, but right in the middle was the wedding ring. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I like went and asked my daughter, like, did you take it? And then you put, and like nobody had no idea what was going on. So I found it just like smack there. And I was like, oh my God, my grandma put my ring there. But then the engagement ring was still missing. And then I, like a week later, went to go to a property that I was managing, and I went to go open the lockbox to like to get a key out. I opened the lockbox, and inside it was my engagement ring.
That's crazy.
that
Because why
insane?
would it be 2 different places?
It's completely inexplicable. Like, it makes no sense. Why would they be in 2 different places? I lost it. I had them at the punchline, then they were gone at the punchline. And then I just don't understand like how I did that, how that happened, and how they turned up at 2 very different, very random places, but they did. And so my mom, it's happened like a million times. I've been able to find like crazy stuff in random places, and my mom started doing it. Like, she lost something. It was like a screw to the bottom of something, and she knew that like my dad would be so annoyed with her if she lost it, and she was like, Ma, come on, just find it for Tom so that I don't, like, I didn't like do this for him. And then she said that she just looked down, and like right in front of her, like pot in her front door was like, it was sitting right there. That's crazy. Nuts. I know.
Grandma.
I tell people to do that all the time. I'm like, if you can't find something, ask a dead grandma. I'm sure there's one out there. And if not, you could use my grandma. I'm sure she'll help you find it.
What was your grandma's name?
Anna.
Anna
is how they say it here. But yeah.
Grandma Anna.
She'll find it for you.
I think I saw a ghost one time. And I think I told this story on Dumb Love, but I used to work at the summer camp, and we would go on overnights to like another property that the camp owned. It was like it itself was a abandoned summer camp. So the summer camp I worked at was not,
Crystal
but then
Lake.
So that is where Camp Crystal Lake was filmed.
Oh my God.
That's at this terrifying. Lake. But it had been shut down because it used to be a Girl Scouts camp, and there was a big fire and like in the 70s, and kids died.
Oh my God.
So, but we would take our campers sometimes on overnight trips to this lake because it was really beautiful, and we would sleep out like just on the shores of the lake and go swim there. And so I was doing that with my campers one time, and it was just us. And I woke up, something woke me up in the middle of the night, and I looked up and I saw these like really peaceful, small white figures walking towards me. Like, they didn't look necessarily like children, but they looked like kind of like little Ewoks, but like all white.
Aww.
And I didn't feel like threatening. It just felt very peaceful. And then I kind of like just went back to sleep. But I'm like, I swear it was like, something about that camp.
Listen, so I believe in all of that. I believe you saw 2 Ewok ghosts. For sure. They absolutely were ghosts.
Yeah. Okay. All of this happened when I was somewhere around 6 to 8. One day, I was going into my room to change my clothing when a random pen flew at me out of nowhere. Keep in mind, there was no pen in my room at the time. I obviously called my mom because I was scared, and she was concerned because she does believe in ghosts. Fast forward a month or 2 later, I'm going into my room when I see a little girl the same age and the same height as me standing in my room next to a rocking horse. I was supposed to be a twin. However, my twin died before she or he was born. My mother reckoned that the ghost was my twin.
Oh my God, that is freaky. That reminds me
freaky.
Of, do you remember that Webster episode that was like the like what the fuck episode where you know how there's like me or like that's listicle too, like where there's like what the fuck moments in 80s sitcoms that like where did that come from?
Right.
But there was a Webster episode where, do you remember when he got that, they moved into that house that had all like the cool like secret doors and trap doors and the dumb waiter and all that stuff. Well, the episode where they like move into that house, like Webster found like a little girl ghost in one of the rooms, and that was like the dead daughter of the people that owned the house.
What?
I know. It's like, I swear to God, it's a real thing. Google it. It's so fucked. It like scarred me for life. It's like,
the 80s were so crazy.
I know. Like the episode of Different Strokes where like they get molested by the one stranger. Remember that?
No.
That was fucked up.
That's also fucked up.
I know. All right, we'll do that.
There were so many, there were so many like very special episodes of TV or like after school specials when we were kids that are so like just so like jarring and scaring. Yeah, scary. Like so scarring. Like I know they thought they were being helpful, but there was like, oh, I could get molested. Like, oh, there was something about like rape and just eating disorders. I was like, oh, I could get skinny like Callista Flockhart. I just don't eat.
When Tracy Gold stopped eating on Growing Pains, or when Brad Pitt was pushing dope on them. And then he yelled at the kid, "Get out of here, you snot-nosed little brat." And Ben was so upset that Brad Pitt was a dick. I don't know. Does anybody remember that?
Is Jen just talking
I don't know. Okay, let's go. Next one.
Okay. I went to bed, and the whole time I felt like someone was standing beside me. It was also way too dark next to me, like a shadow or something. I don't know, just deep, deep darkness. I just closed my eyes and told myself I was imagining things. And then I felt my blanket being pulled down.
Oh my God.
Ever so slowly. So naturally, I jump up and ran downstairs to my husband, totally freaking out. We went back upstairs together, put on the lights, and there was nothing, nobody, just a really weird vibe. Even my husband, who is the most rational person when it comes to these kind of things, felt it. It was in my daughter's room. My kids were with their grandma at the time. My daughter has never complained about anything weird in her room, but she never slept there again.
Oh my God. That one gave me chills.
Right?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
It's that like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was 7 or 8 years old, and my brother and I shared a room with me on the higher bunk. Just for fun, I had all my plushies piled into a barrier of sorts. At somewhere around 2 and 4 in the morning, I slowly began to wake up. It wasn't dark. It was almost like a faded light with a hint of green. I was confused, but my head turned, and I looked at the door and saw a figure standing there. The silhouette looked like my mom, but blank and empty. I turned my head away and then back, and it was still there. I did it once more and looked back, and it was gone. Just an empty doorway. I didn't know what was going on and didn't say anything about it.
Oh my God, that is terrifying.
It's so creepy.
These are getting scary. Yeah.
I was alone at home and decided to take a shower and go to bed. I turned on the music on my phone and went into the shower. Through the sound of the water, I could hear distinct footsteps in the kitchen. I turned off the music and lowered the water pressure. I was standing and listening and not understanding anything. Who was walking around while I was home alone? The door to the bathroom was open. Opposite the door, there was a mirror with a sink, and I see a shadow passing into the room from the kitchen. I froze. The shadow left the room and went to another. A minute later, the shadow goes into another room, and this time I hear footsteps, heavy and slow. At some point, I realized that the shadow is approaching me. I didn't have anything for self-defense, so I grabbed deodorant, preparing to either spray someone in the face or hit someone with it. I look out of the bathroom into the corridor, but I don't see or hear anyone. I'm paranoid, so I quickly ran to the kitchen, grabbed the biggest knife I had, and went to check all the rooms. I didn't find anyone. The windows are all closed. The door is locked. You can only get into my apartment through the door. I live on the 5th floor, so I doubt you can climb into the window. I didn't sleep that evening. I sat with a knife and my rat in an embrace all night. The rat detail is interesting.
God, that is terrifying. When I lived in New York, I lived on Roosevelt Island, and my building was an old insane asylum turned into apartments, which sounds insane. Like if I were watching myself in a movie, I would have been like, "What are you, crazy? Like, why did you ever do that?" But I was like, "It's a great deal, and I'm in courtyard. It's pretty cool." So but I remember one night, I lived by myself, and I remember one night like waking up, and there were all these like people in my room. Like obviously this was a dream.
Yeah.
But it felt so real, like a lucid nightmare. There were all these people in my room, and they were like one by one, like telling me like, "I'm not Mary and I died in a car accident. I'm Bill and I died from cancer." Like they were all telling me like how they died in that building. And I just laid there like frozen. Then I snapped myself out of it and woke up and it was gone. But like, I really like, I don't know. It's either haunted or like I ate some like Chinese food that night. And I think the MSG just like really did a number on me.
You're like, I ate a bunch of mushrooms and had some acid, but I don't know. Could it have been that?
I never ate at the Chinese place next to my apartment again.
They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna send her with some good dreams tonight.
I think I read somewhere that MSG will give you like nightmares. And so I think it's either that or ghosts. I don't know how to explain.
Okay, this is the last one I'll do.
Okay.
Okay, so my parents had been married for maybe a month. They were in bed, sound asleep, when all of a sudden my mom jumps up and wakes up my dad. Jimmy, there's blood everywhere. We have to help them, please. My dad tried his best to calm her down and figure out what she was talking about. My mom had explained that she saw a car with a German license plate on the side of the road. There had been an accident and they needed help. My dad tried to console her, to explain that it was all just a bad dream, but she wasn't having it. So to appease her, they got in the car and drove to the spot my mom thought the accident was. And sure enough, at the exact spot my mom said, there was a car on the side of the road with German plates and emergency flashers on. Upon closer investigation, there was nobody in the car. If they needed help had already come.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah. I truly do believe that some people are psychic.
Yeah.
For
I feel
sure.
like you told a story like that about like when you were a kid. Yeah. Like your friend, like
my friend's my friend Desi, her mom was our like religion class teacher. Our moms would all like take turns and rotate doing it was called catechism. Like
I love that it was just like
just hanging
like,
out at each
just
other's
some neighborhood
houses.
moms. Like it wasn't like anybody official. Like they were just like, yeah, you know about the Virgin Mary, right?
right. They would just give us
have
these,
some
like,
veal piccata.
They would just give us these little worksheets and stuff, and we basically just hang out and eat snacks.
Girls, hold on to your virginity, all right?
Don't do that. God doesn't like it. But so there was one day where I remember I told I drew a picture of like something I had seen. I had seen like an angel in the corner of my room, and I like drew a picture. And I remember going to the class, and for some reason I went up to Desi's mom and I was just like, God, I wish I could remember her name. But I went up to her mom and I was just like, hey, I saw this last night and I drew it and I wanted to give it to you. And I had no idea why I wanted to give it to her. I have no idea why I drew it. And she was like, my sister was murdered yesterday. Yeah. And she started bawling, crying. And then I was like, yeah, I didn't understand it either. But yeah, I was like, maybe like 8 years old. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, were you like, Desi's mom, you shouldn't be holding catechism class today?
I know. I think like or maybe it was, I can't remember if it was the day before or something, but I remember my sister was like murdered. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Jen, you're psychic.
Horrible. Well, and then there was the time that I totally had a dream about remember Travis and Stephanie? And I was like,
yes.
I was like, Travis, you're gonna kill me. But I had a dream last night that you're having a baby, and he just dropped, his face just dropped, and he was like, we haven't even told our parents. And I was like, what? Fucking psychic. Yes. I wish I really I wish I could use it for good. Like lottery numbers.
Right. Oh man, me too.
Just like weird random information.
Yeah. Well, that's my list. I hope everybody's in a spooky mood now.
I am. That's really scary. So mine, I wish I would have done something spooky, but I didn't. I'm sorry. I totally dropped the ball. But my list this week, I just thought it was really interesting, and I was wondering what you thought about these. It's an article for BuzzFeed by Dave Stopera, and it is 89. I'm not going to read them all. We don't have for 89 mind-blowing facts that sound like big, huge lies, but are actually completely, totally 100% true.
I love this. I love a fun fact, and I like weird. I mean, is there anything about bugs? I will love that.
There's probably something about bugs in here. Okay, so this one says it's almost impossible to hum while holding your nose. Did you know that? Try it.
Shall I try it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. Everybody stop what you're doing and try hold your nose and try to hum.
Wow.
How? That
This
is
one
very
is
interesting.
Yeah, this one.
It's like I remember reading the fact that you can't lick your elbows. It's impossible
Are you
to lick your elbows.
No, I can't.
I try to do a joke about
my
that
shirt.
but I never quite got it to make it work. But yeah.
No, you're right. Great. This one's an interesting fact. It's Harriet Tubman was alive at the same time as both Thomas Jefferson and Ronald Reagan.
That is mind blowing. Like when you think about that span of history and how far apart those things feel, that's nuts.
And the word nerd was first coined by Dr. Seuss. He invented the word nerd.
No way.
Interesting.
Dr. Seuss.
The sun can fit about 1 million Earths inside it.
I have to tell you, I did know that one, but I think it's because I have a 7-year-old. So I know a lot of like snake facts and, earth facts. And he was telling me today, we're in the car and he was like, yeah, we've been learning a lot about spiders. And I was like, okay, well, get ready for the spider facts.
Oh, nice.
He came home from school today. This is just an aside, but he's been like telling me like the last couple weeks, he's like, Sam told me I'm invited to his birthday. And I'm like, okay, well, Sam's mom can contact me. And he's like, keeps telling me like, and I just keep being like, I don't know what kids are saying to other kids, but he keeps being like, we're going to Sam's birthday. It's at like some trampoline park. And finally he was like, it's this weekend. I was like, I haven't heard anything. And I just was like, oh no, he's like invited himself to this kid's birthday party. I am like, so I finally emailed the mom and was just like, I'm sorry if this is awkward, but like Max is convinced he's invited. And I just wanted to like make sure, if like no worries either way. I understand like whatever, everybody has limits of. And she was like, oh no, he's invited. We sent you an email like 3 weeks ago and you didn't respond. And I was like, well, shit.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's in my junk mail. I totally was just like, whoops.
God, nothing puts panic into me more than the fucking junk mail folder. It's like,
right.
There's just like, when you look at it and you're like, oh, there's all these things sitting here,
I know. Well, I just kept thinking that I was like feeling bad for him, right? Because I'm thinking like, oh, he wants to go to this kid's birthday, but maybe he wasn't invited, and how am I going to let him down? And turns out I'm just like a shit mom.
You're a busy mom.
I'm a busy mom
with the junk folder. But poor Max. He's like, no, I swear to God.
He's like, no, Sam said he's like, it's Monday or it's on Sunday and it's at 1 and it's at Sky Zone. And I was like, oh, I can't just bust in on somebody's birthday party.
Honestly, I don't think that the parents would even notice if you did. It's like those kind of parties. I'm just like, it's another kid, whatever.
Yeah. Like, I don't know anyway.
All right, this one I'm going to quiz you. Okay, what do you think is the shortest commercial flight available? What is the shortest commercial flight available?
Like, what is the time?
How long is it? Yeah.
15 minutes.
57 seconds long.
What?
That's insane, and that's just like wasteful. How could that even be? It's in Scotland, and it connects Westray, which is an island on the edge of Scotland, to a smaller, even more remote island called Papa Westray. So like it is necessary.
Gotcha. Okay. I listen to a lot of Scottish mysteries, and some of them are like set up in Shetland. which I think is where all those little islands are, and you have to like take planes to get to them because it's rough seas and shit.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
I guess. All right, fine. But that's weird and it's interesting. What do you?
But not spooky.
Cookie Monster has a name. Do you know what it is? Yeah.
George.
No, it's Sid. His name is Sid. He don't look like a Sid. I could see George. Dave. I don't know.
He's a Chad.
Chet.
Cookie Monster's a real bro.
Did you know that vending machines are twice as likely to kill you as a shark is?
I actually did know that.
You did?
I did. I'm sure it was also in some book that actually we just read a book about sharks. So yes, that's where I learned that fact. That they're likely to like fall on you, which is also horrifying.
Like IKEA bookshelves.
Right?
So this one will make you feel really old. Space Jam was released closer to the moon landing than to today.
I don't like those facts.
Like make you feel old ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the ones that, like I just read that, Green Day's first album was like 30 years old. And I was like, but
God, yeah.
That was like my teenage anthem.
I know.
It's depressing.
Did you know? I know. I hate seeing these like 25th anniversary of Mean Girls. I don't know if it's really 25th, but it's like, what? It came out 4 years ago. I know. Okay. Every single letter in the alphabet appears in at least one U.S. state, except for the letter Q. There's no Q in any states. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Did you know that a strawberry isn't a berry, but a banana is a berry?
I didn't know that. Why?
Even more, avocados and watermelons are also berries.
Because they have seeds on the inside?
I think
And not on the outside?
Did you know that New York City is further south than Rome, Italy?
I didn't know that.
You didn't? Okay.
But I also didn't. It also doesn't surprise me because I've never thought of them as in relation to each other.
Yeah. I mean, why would you? So, did you know that there's such thing as a double king size bed? Like two king
What?
size?
No.
Yeah. Do you know what it's called? An Alaskan king.
That's
the kind of king I can get behind. The more bedroom, the better. The bigger the bed, the better.
Yes. Don't you? Wouldn't it be such a fantasy to like have just an entire room of bed?
Yeah. I saw.
It'd be hard to change the sheets, but.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to change the sheets. I saw somebody posted on like Facebook Marketplace the other day, one of those round mattresses, like one of those round beds. And I gotta tell you, I was a little tempted.
Yeah, but you know that those round mattresses, those are like
the ass.
That's like sex party. Like that's you can't get a used round mattress.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're getting your round mattresses, you got to get that new.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be haunted is a fucking round mattress. You better believe that's haunted.
Ben and I slept on an empty waterbed for like a whole summer. We were renting an apartment and the guy before we got there was like, I have a waterbed. Do you want to like use that? And I was like, I don't think so. I think we'll just get like an air mattress. But like we were so poor that we got an air mattress, but it immediately popped. And then all we had was like the platform, the bed. And so we spent like the whole summer, one of us would sleep on the couch and the other one would sleep on the floor. And there were mice in the apartment. So whoever sleeping on the floor had to be like, it was horrible.
My God, that sounds horrific. I'm glad you're not living in those conditions. Did you know that the name Jessica was created by Shakespeare for his play Merchant of Venice? So he invented the name Jessica.
I didn't know that, but
really
isn't
interesting.
That's very funny because it's like such an 80s name. Just like Jessica. Or 80s or 90s. That it came from Shakespeare.
I was almost Jessica. My dad changed his mind at the last minute. Like, I think like when I was born, he changed it to Jennifer.
He was like, no.
Do I look like a Jessie to you? Like a Jessie?
You could maybe be a Jess. Maybe. Okay. But no.
No.
It doesn't fit.
Louise watches this show called Hey Jessie. And it's like nails on a chalkboard is the theme song. It's like, hey, Jessie. Hey, Jessie. It feels like a party every day. Moms, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Moms with daughters. Oh my God. Okay, anyway. This is really interesting. Did you know that there are more tigers in the state of Texas than the rest of the world?
No,
it's probably some Tiger King shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like that's another fact that I did not know, but
you're not
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
This one's good for you dinosaur nerds out there. I remember there being a girl. God, I wish I could remember her name because she ended up being like everybody called her Dinosaur Girl. It was a girl. And she used to hang around my friend Seth. And then like, I think she liked dinosaurs. So everybody called her Dinosaur Girl. And she was like real quiet.
Yeah.
But then she ended up within 2 years, like totally like coming out of her shell and ended up being like a smoke show. Like a total hot. We were like, that's Dinosaur Girl? And all the guys regretted it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this says the difference in time between the Tyrannosaurus Rex lived and Stegosaurus lived is greater than the difference in time between Tyrannosaurus Rex and now. I didn't know that they didn't live at the same time. I really didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you?
I mean, I knew there were different periods of dinosaurs, but no, I mean, I'm not. That's one thing that Max is not super into, so I don't pay attention to dinosaur shit.
That is so interesting. Oxford
Time's crazy.
It's crazy. It is. This is also time's crazy. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
That is crazy.
I gotta wrap my mind around that one.
Did you know that a buttload is an actual unit of measurement and it's equivalent to 126 gallons? It's a buttload.
Oh, that's a great fact.
That is good.
I guess I've been using it incorrectly this whole time.
Yeah. Next time use it right. It's 126 gallons. Did you know that every single odd number has the letter E in it?
What?
That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. It's true. 8, 9. It's true.
It's true.
This is a good one for Max. I think he'll appreciate this.
Okay.
But did you know that turtles can breathe out of their butts?
No, but that's great.
I think he'll like that. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPad than she did to the building of the Great Pyramid?
I didn't know that.
That's wild. Okay.
I feel like most of these facts are just like, whoa.
Well, some of these are gross. Okay, this one's gross. Some of the apples you can buy in a grocery store are over a year old. Like they just sit there for a year.
I think I did know that was
Did
that's one of the like, that's a produce that can like really sit for a while. Whereas like, other stuff has to be eaten very quickly.
It's weird how when they're in my house and in my fruit bowl, they only last 4 days.
That's because they've been at Aldi for 362 days.
They just die as soon as they get to my house. Yeah. Did you know that every Fruit Loop tastes the same and that color doesn't matter?
No, that's can't be right.
No, I think it is right. And I think that that's the same for Skittles. I think I've heard that. Skittles are all the same flavor. I think so.
I don't think so.
Google it.
I don't believe it. I feel like I've done a taste challenge with Skittles.
Oh, no. Okay. A spokesperson for Mars, the maker of Skittles, vehemently denied claims that all colors have the same taste in a statement to the Today Show, saying each of the 5 fruity flavors in Skittles has its own individual taste and flavor.
God, can you imagine if that's your job? Like, that's the thing. You're like, oh my God, we got to deal with this crisis. I got to go out and tell the public.
It is my job to make a statement. You don't understand the stress I'm under, Rebecca. I'm Big Skittle.
I've got to set them straight on the 5 fruity flavors.
It is my ass on the line. Oh my God. So funny. Okay, I'll just do a couple more because I know these are long. Also, coconuts kill more people than sharks every year. Same with cows. So I think what they're trying to tell us is like, leave sharks alone.
Yeah, sharks
because you're gonna get killed by something else. Yeah. I'll end it on this one. I'll leave you guys with this. Every C in the phrase Pacific Ocean, every C is pronounced differently. You got your hard C, you got your soft C, you got the other one. I don't know what it's called.
You got your C that's like an S. You got your C. Awesome. I was trying to visualize. I was thinking it was just Pacific had 3 C's, and I was like, man, I can't think of the other C. I love a fun fact. Those are like fun to trot out at dinner parties. Mine was always that daddy long legs are like one of the most poisonous spiders, but their mouths are too tiny to bite humans.
Oh, wow.
So they can't actually hurt you.
Well, then why?
Poisonous.
How are ants biting? I just got attacked by fire ants the other day. And like, don't ants have small mouths too?
Maybe I just got big old mouths.
It is interesting though.
Look, I don't have all the answers, Jen. I just have random fun facts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to our top 5.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. This week, as promised, we are going to do our top 5 favorite Halloween candies because 2 weeks ago on our episode, we did our top 5 least favorite. And I actually got a lot of feedback from people being like, Sally, you are right. Coconut and raisins are bullshit.
Yeah, everybody hates coconut and raisins.
Actually, my mother-in-law, hi Martha, who listens to the podcast, was like, I knew I liked you, but now I like you even more because you were right. Raisins and coconut are gross.
No, you're
and
wrong.
I was like, yes.
Well, John Bunyan agrees with me. So there's one person out there that agrees with me on both raisins and coconuts, right, John? But yeah, no. Even like my one of my best friends growing up, his mom texted me and was like, "No, Sally's right." Fine.
Oh, all right. So do you want to go first? Do you want to start us off? What's your number 5?
My number 5 best Halloween treat, and this may be controversial, but I love it, and I would have traded most of my candy for these things. I don't know that they make them anymore, but do you remember like the cheese and cracker packets, and then it came with that one little red stick, and you use it to like smear the disgusting cheese onto the cracker? Mm-hmm. I loved those. I loved it.
They do still make those. They do because we've gotten them before, and I think Max tried one and was like, "This is disgusting," and I was like,
"The cheese is certainly not cheese. It can't be. There's no way it can sit in those containers." But I loved them. I don't know. To me, those were so fun, and that's just like it was a good you have a bag full of sweets, right? So it's nice to have the one like counterpart to where it's like, well, this is a little salty treat.
Yeah.
Cheesy, salty snack. Yeah.
I feel like mine are all like straight up
good,
basic bitch kind of candy. Like my number 5 is an M&M. I love an M&M. I love especially the little.
So boring.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be honest here.
Okay, that's fine. Like plain.
Yeah,
plain.
All
right.
I like the little bag. It's the perfect size.
Fun sized.
Fun sized, yeah. Okay. Fun size for me.
Well, my number 4 is the better version of the thing that you're saying is Reese's Pieces, because at least there's peanut butter in there. I love Reese's Pieces.
I don't like Reese's Pieces. I think that is just a me thing. I'm not mad at you. This isn't a Raisinette situation.
Okay.
I just don't. I think they're too sweet. I don't enjoy them. I don't like them at all.
I love them, and so does E.T. So
yeah, I think people will agree with you on this arguing. One. Okay. I will never argue against E.T. My number 4 is a Kit Kat.
Okay. I like a Kit Kat. I like how you can eat it in layers.
Right?
You know, like there's certain candies have like there's a ritual to it, and you eat a Kit Kat like layer by layer.
Yeah, and you can snap it and
a Twix you scrape all the caramel off. Then you eat all the chocolate off the sides, and then you eat the cookie.
No? I mean, if you're a monster. Are you also a person who like, do we talk about, do you eat corn like
Tom? How do you like that? How do you eat corn?
I think I eat it.
You go like you roll it like.
Yeah, I roll it.
You dial it.
I dial it, and you're like a typewriter.
Yeah, I eat corn like that.
Makes sense.
That's how you're supposed to eat it.
No, you're right.
I turn it. That's weird. Okay. My number 3, I feel like it's a very underrated candy. I feel like it's got all the good stuff there, but I don't think it gets the love that other candies get. It's Baby Ruth.
Yeah, I don't mind a Baby Ruth.
It's got, yeah,
it's got. You know what? I think that Baby Ruth has that a lot of other candies don't have is a little bit of salt.
Yeah,
like it just a lot of other candies are just sweet, 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 and Baby Ruth's got a little bit of salt with those peanuts. So it's not on my list. I don't love it, but I do appreciate. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm glad you do.
Yeah. My number 3 is Starburst. I love a Starburst.
Okay.
I like to unwrap a Starburst. I think it's great.
What's your favorite flavor?
Orange.
What if I told you that they're all the same?
I would tell you to go fuck yourself.
They're clearly not.
I would say get on the Googles.
Orange is good. I think I like a strawberry.
I'm not mad. Strawberry would be a very close second.
Lemon is the worst.
Lemon is the worst.
Your lemons.
Also, it is Ben's favorite, which I think is so crazy.
I think he's just saying that to sound special. And I don't believe him at all. Prove it.
Right? It's like people who love New Kids on the Block and said Danny was their favorite.
I know. Okay. No, you're just trying to get one. Okay, yeah. You're going for the low-hanging fruit. And that's your best chance.
Yep.
I would let's do an experiment on Ben where you put a bowl of Starburst in the living room with a hidden camera and you see which one he actually goes for.
Yes.
I will bet money that it's not lemon. Okay. My number 2 is just amazing. I love it. I like that they make them now in even the little teeny tiny 1 bites, you know? But Snickers, I mean, how do you beat Snickers?
It satisfies.
It does. I love how I say, how do you beat a Snickers when Snickers is number 2? And I'll tell you exactly what beats a Snickers. Okay.
My number 2 is a Twix.
Okay, I do love a Twix. How do you eat your Twix though?
Like,
No. You have to scrape the caramel against your bottom teeth. Make sure all the caramel is gone. And then you eat the edge of the chocolate that's still remaining.
No.
And then you wait until the cookie is nothing but a cookie. Not a trace of chocolate. just a cookie and then you eat the cookie.
No, because you got to
That's
get
how you eat it.
a bite of everything at once.
It wasn't made for that.
When you have a sandwich, do you eat like first your bread and then the lettuce?
Sometimes.
You're a monster. I don't know how we're gonna get through the rest of this candy unless our number one is the same.
One. Okay.
Should we say it at the same time?
I think you know what my number one is, and I want to know. I'm curious to see if you
I think it might be the same. I think we might have the same.
Is it
Reese's peanut butter cups?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my all-time favorite candy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know that for a while you and I were trying to eat the healthy peanut butter cups.
No.
When we used to record, but you know what? It has to be Reese's.
It's got to be Reese's. It has the best peanut butter. Mm-hmm. And I don't like the mega ones. And I also don't like the thin ones. I like the regular. You know what I love is a Reese's peanut butter like egg.
Or like a Christmas tree.
Like a Christmas tree.
Or a pumpkin.
Yeah. No. Any of it. I'll take any of it.
Different. Yeah.
I don't care. I'll take one of the little ones. I'll take a big one. I love them all.
I love them all too. They're so. How do you eat them though? You just like tom.
I put it in my mouth and I let it dissolve until it's chomp.
You have to eat the edges around, and then you're left with 3 layers exposed, and then you cut it in half with your teeth, and then you scrape off the inside peanut butter, and then you eat the chocolate.
No, this is crazy. Why are we scraping things with our teeth? This is outrageous.
It's the whole journey.
No, I'm chomp.
It. It's an experience. No.
Done in my belly.
You gotta play with your food, you know. No. So I'm glad we ended on the same note. We can both agree.
Me too. It was looking really it was looking very I thought you were gonna say Raisinets and I was gonna have to walk out.
No, that's not a Halloween treat. That is a movie theater treat.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. All right. Well, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. If you want to get in touch, you can email us at theridiculouspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us. We always are playing fun games, asking lots of questions, having you guys share your top 5s and your lists on Instagram, which is @theridiculouspod. You could rate and review. You could tell a friend. We would love that.
We would. Thank you guys so much for listening, and thanks for hanging out with us over on Instagram and stuff. It's always fun getting you guys' responses. Thanks for all the new reviews. They're super kind. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week on The Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridic. You